Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to knit this baby sweater. It's for around from 8 months to 24. It's very easy to do, and here is the list of material you're going to need to make. To make this baby sweater, the yarn I'm going to use is from red hardwood wool. It's medium 4, it has 100 grams. The color is tropical and is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. The needles I'm going to use, they are 7 millimeters. You're going to need something to count the rows. So I bought this in eBay China. It's really cute. It's a digital counter. So you put it on your finger and you just count as you go. And you're going to need scissors and tapestry needle. You're going to make two pieces like this one. So I cast on 42 stitches and I work for 42 rows. And row number 43 and 44, they were purl row, and number 45 I cast off. So you're gonna end up with a piece like this, and I love this stitch. This was the same stitch that I used for the hats and scarf that I did a few videos ago. So when I cast 42, I start here with 2 purl and I end up with 2 pearls for this piece. For the other one, I will start with 2 net and I will finish with 2 net in the right side of the piece. And remember, the right side of the piece is where you have the tail in your right side. So remember that. One piece you start with 2 purl and finish with 2 purl, and the other one you have to start with 2 net and finish with 2 net. The right side. Here I'm going to wrap around my yarn on my needle 42 times. And when I finish wrapping around, I will show you how we're going to cast on. And that will be the tail that we need for the casting on. Once you have the amount of tail that you need, you will do a slip knot. This stitch that we are doing is multiple of 3. This one in the top, at the same time, is divisible by 2 for the bottom. So you can add, say, 12 stitches, but you don't can do 15 because that will be an odd number in here. You need even number in the bottom. So that's why I did 42. So if I wanted this bigger, I don't can add 3 because there will be 45. I will have to add 6 at a time. If I have one smaller, you will have to remove 6 stitches at a time. So to get the measurements, I don't have little kids, so what I did is I have these little baby top. So this one is from 6 to 12, and this one will be from 8 to 18 months. You see? It's a little bit bigger, so from 8 to 18 months. And that is with my 42 stitches. If you have a bigger kid, you will have to cast down some stitches, work it for a couple of rows, cast it off, and then get the measurements in one of the baby's pieces. If you don't have the baby with you, you can ask their parent to give you the measurement in one of their pieces, and you can figure out the measurements that you need to do the piece. I recommend this because I don't have kids, like I mentioned, little kids. So if you have a 5 years old, you'll have to find one of his clothes and do that in order to get the measurements, because I don't have 5 years old in my house or any 5 years old clothes. So that's what I recommend. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cast off the amount of stitches that you need for your piece. For mine, I'm gonna do 42. Just like this. Something that depends too how many stitches you're gonna cast on, and that's why I recommend to do the little piece, is the type of yarn that you're using and the size needle. If I'm using a thinner yarn and a smaller needle, this piece will be for a smaller baby. Okay, So you have to have that into account. Once you finish casting on, you're going to do a little knot here, not too tight, just enough to secure the first stitch. So remember, you're going to start one of the piece with 2 purl and finish with 2 purl, and the next one you will start with no net and then finish with 2 net. I mentioned that I did 42 row of the stitch, and 43 and 44 was purl and 45 cast off. That is of the stitch. I don't count the 6 row of border. Okay, so you're gonna do 6 row border, and you're gonna start either with 2 purls or 2 net. But remember, the other one you have to start with the reverse. So I'm gonna 2 and 2 for a 6 row. To show you the design, I'm going to be working only in these 12 stitches because I already have my other piece here ready for my 2 row purl. So what I'm doing now is something I wanted to mention. For example, if mine was 2 purl in the beginning, 2 at the end, because the 42 stitches, but you're doing bigger or smaller, and you start with 2 purl and finish with 2 net that row, the other piece you will do exactly the same. So mines are different because I start with 2 purl and finish with 2 purl. So the other one I have to start with 2 net and finish with 2 net. That is the other piece. So you're gonna continue. This one was a net in this side, so it's a purl in the back side. So you're going to continue working the border for 6 rows. Once you finish with the 6th row, I'm going to erase my 6th row. So I don't going to count the 6th row as part of the stitch. So I'm going to start with 1 purl, yarn over, and 2 together. That is the stitch for the entire piece. The repetition of those 3 in that order. 1 purl, yarn over your needle like that, and 2 together in a purl stitch. That's the repetition that you're gonna do of those 3. 1 purl. You see, again we started with the first one. Yarn over, and 2 together and a purl stitch. It's a very easy stitch. So 1 purl, yarn over, and 2 together. Purl, yarn over, and 2 together. You're going to continue doing this until the end of that row. So I'm going to mark the first row. You're going to turn around your work and you start exactly the same as you did the first row. One purl, yarn over, and 2 together. Now the 2 together is that yarn over that you did before and the next one, those 2 stitches together. You have to remember always do the yarn over, because each time you do 2 together you are decreasing a stitch, and that yarn over is the increase of that stitch again. Okay, so you have to increase the stitch first, that's the yarn over, and then you always do the 2 together. This is a purl first. You're gonna purl, yarn over, and two together. Each time you're gonna do the yarn over and the two together. You see, you have this one and the other needle, that open stitch like that. And that's your guide, that way you know what to do next. One purl, yarn over, and two together. Purl, yarn over, and two together. And again, you turn your work around once you finish that row, and you're gonna mark the second row. Again, one purl, yarn over, and two together. One more time. One purl, yarn over, and two together. You're going to continue doing this until you have the desired length that you want for your piece. For me, this one that I have here, ready to do the two row of purl, it measures 28 centimeters. That is from the border, everything, 28 centimeters. Now we're gonna do, once you finish with that piece that measure this length, or the length that you need for yours, we're gonna do 2 row purls. Once you finish those 42 row, or the amount of row that you need for yours, the next 2 rows, they're gonna be purls, and I'm gonna start my first row in the right side of the piece. Okay. You're gonna purl, you see that's the yarn over. You're gonna grab it like this, and you're gonna purl that one. You need to purl every single one. You're going to continue doing this for this row and the next one. If you like, you can do more row, but for me only 2. Once you finish with those 2 purl, you're going to cast off a bind up, and we're going to do it in a purl row or a purl stitch. You're going to purl one, and you're going to purl the second one. Now the first one that you purl, you're going to pass it from top of the second one and take it out of the needle. That's your cast off or bind up. You're going to do the same to the next one. You're going to purl the next one. You will have 2 stitches on your needle. You grab the one in the back and pass it through the top of the front and cast it off. Again, you purl the next one, the first one, and pass on top of the next one. Like that, you're going to continue until you have one left on your needle. You're going to end up with the 1 stitch, so you're going to cut the yarn long enough for sewing the shoulder part. So you're going to grab your yarn, pass it through that loop. Not too tight, you don't want that stitch too tight. So you're going to do the same with the 2 parts, and now we're going to sew the top of the shoulder and then do the sleeves. Once you have the 2 parts done, you're going to place it one on top of each other, right side out. So how I know my right sides are out? When I have my 2 tails on my right hand, like that. So here on the top you will have a long tail in the back, and in this side in the front. That's for sewing the shoulder. You're going to sew around 4 fingers like that in this side and 4 in the other one. But something that I wanted you to do is when you start sewing in a zigzag, when you have around 3, you stop there, don't finish it off, go to the other side and do the same. Try that color part on your baby's or on your kid's head, and then you will know if that's the right size for it. So if you find that it's a little too big, you will continue until a couple more, and then a couple more on the other side. And if it's too tight, you undo those a little piece that you sew, and the same on the other side until you have the right size in here. So that's what I recommend to do. And then once you finish sewing that part, we'll start with the sleeve. Once you finish sewing, the color will be like this. Now we're going to start with the sleeve. I did one of the sleeve with a stitch. Look really nice, and now I'm going to show you how to do the other one. You're going to place the sweater open like that in front of you, and you're going to start casting on the sleeve from the left hand to the right. And this is the right side of the piece. So that's what I did in this one. You see the piece in front of me like this, and I start casting on from the left hand to the right. Here you're gonna see, if you lift it up, you're gonna see all these little loops or bumps. So those are the ones that we're gonna cast on our needle. So for mine I did 24, 12 in this side and 12 in this side. So I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So with my needle, I'm going to start like this. Going counting until you have 12 on this side and 12 on the other. Here I wanted to show you how you're going to cast on, continue casting on. You see? They're easy to grab. So I have 12, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. I have my 24 stitches. Once you have your stitches, and remember, if you are doing this bigger, you have to cast on more, but the same amount on each side. With the crochet hook, I'm going to pass in the back my yarn, and I'm going to do a little knot here to secure it, and then I will start with a stitch. Here I wanted to show you what I did in this sleeve. In this sleeve, I cast off 24, so I did 3 purls for the border in the beginning and 3 purls at the end. That way, each time I decrease from the purl and not from the stitches. So I did 3 purl for the border, 1 purl, yarn over, 2 together. 1 purl, yarn over and 2 together, 1 purl, yarn over and 2 together, until I got to the end. I finished with 3 purls. I turn around my work. Again, I did 3 purls for the border, 1 purl, yarn over, 2 together. Like that, continue until row 8. In row 9, I did a decrease in each end. So what I did was, I did a purl, 2 together in a purl stitch, and then a purl, yarn over, 2 together, like that. And then when I got to the end at row 9, I did the decrease again. So I continue working with 2 border stitch and the stitch and 2 border stitch at the end until row 18. In row 19, I did a decrease. I did 2 together on a purl stitch, 1 purl, yarn over and 2 together, and like that I continue until I have the length here. And then here for my end, for the cuff of the sleeve, I did 1 purl, 1 net, 1 purl, 1 net, 1 purl, net. So now we're gonna start. I'm gonna keep track of my stitch, my rows. So this is really nice. I like it so much that I ordered 2 more. They were like $1.23 Canadian, $1.29 Canadian. So I ordered a green and a red. So what I did was I went in eBay and Google eBay, and I put the stitch counter, and they have different ones, and I like these digital ones. And it's easy because you put it on in your finger and they don't break apart like the other ones. I don't know if I know here from Canada you can order eBay and from the state, but I don't know other countries, so you have to check it out. They are digital. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3 pearls for the border stitch. Now you're gonna do 1 pearl, yarn over, and 2 together. You see, we are start again with the same stitch that we did for the body of the piece. 1 pearl, yarn over, and 2 together. 1 pearl, yarn over, and 2 together. So you're going to continue until you have 3 left on your needle, and remember these last 2 before the 3 border stitch, they will be 2 together. Here I have my 2 together, and then I have left 3 pearls. You're going to turn your work around, and you're going to start with 1, 2, and 3 pearl for the border stitch, and then 1 pearl, yarn over, and 2 together. Like this you're going to continue. This is row number 2, so you're going to continue until row number 8. When you finish row number 8 and row number 9, we're going to do the decrease. We just finished row number 8, and now we're going to do row number 9. So you don't have to do the decrease. You can work straight without decrease until row 26, and then in row 27 you can start 1 pearl, 1 net, 1 pearl, 1 net, 1 pearl, 1 net for 6 rows, and then in the 7th row you will cast off. I do in the decrease because I already did in the other sleeve, but I think I will have rather not to have done the decrease. It look okay, a little narrow on the front, but it look fine. So I'm designing another one, a different color, a little different in the front. So I don't gonna do any decrease in those sleeves. So for those ones that decide to do the decrease, you're gonna do 1 pearl, and then 2 together on a pearl stitch. That is your decrease. So you're gonna continue working with the stitch. You see, 1 pearl, yarn over, 2 together, until you have the 3 left. Once you do the 2 together here, you're gonna do 2 more together here, and you're gonna end with 1 pearl. So you're gonna continue working only with 2 pearl for the border stitch in each end until row 18. Now we're gonna do row number 19. We're gonna purl 2 together, and then 1 pearl, yarn over, and 2 together. Like that you're gonna continue all the way until the end when you have 2, and you will do them 2 together in a pearl stitch. You don't gonna do any more decrease, so you will work those stitches that you have left until row 26. Row 27 I will show you how to do the end of the sleeve, this part here. So I finished row number 26. Now we're gonna work in 27, and 27 is 1 pearl, 1 net, 1 pearl, 1 net, 1 pearl, 1 net until the end. And then on the other side, while you did pearl in this side, there will be net in the other side. So you will do the reverse. You know, you pearl the pearls and net the nets. So if you start here with a pearl, and the other side will be a net, and this there is a net, and the other side will be a pearl. So that's what I meant. So you're gonna work that until row number 6, and in row number 7 you'll cast off or bind off. So you're gonna purl one, and you're gonna knit the next one. See, this one is the yarn over. Here you're gonna purl that one, and you're gonna knit the next one. Purl this one, and now the yarn over is a knit. You're gonna continue until the end. You see, this one they are the reverse in the other side. Here I finished the first row with the net stitch. Now when I turn my work around, I'll start with a purl, because on this side that net is a purl, and then the net, the purl, net, like that. You're gonna continue for 6 rows. I finished row number 6. Now I'm gonna cast off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna purl the first one, and I'm gonna knit the second one, and I'm gonna pass the first one on top of the second one. Now this one is a purl, so you'll purl that one and pass this one on top of that one. The next one will be a net, so you net that one and pass this one on top of that. Like that you're going to continue until you have one left on your needle. I have one stitch left. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. I'm going to cut a very long tail, and I'm going to pass it through here, through that loop, and tie that stitch like that, not too tight. And then we start sewing. I leave a very long tail for the other side. So we're going to finish now our little baby sweater. To sew from the right side of the sweater, with the tapestry needle, you're going to sew, start at the tip of the sleeve. So you have to make sure that you pass it a couple of times through there, because that is where a little more pressure will go each time the kid put the little sweater on. You'll sew in a zigzag, matching every stitch with every stitch here. Try to bring an even here and even in the bottom. Okay, so I'll meet you here when I have my piece done. Well, this is the end result, and I love this little baby sweater. This could be for a boy or a girl, so I hope you guys like it. And I'm gonna show you the amount of yarn that I have left from my second ball of yarn. So you will need to purchase 2 of 100 grams. This is how much I have left. You can try to make a hat with these. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. If you make this piece or any other one and you want to send me the picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me on Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Have a beautiful day.